So you are all welcome again. In today's class, we are going to conclude everything about the introductory part of the training. Alright, I made us understand that in the introductory part of the training, we'll be looking at two courses. The first one is actually Foundation of Cybersecurity, while the second one is going to be Played Safe. Now, inside these two modules or these courses here, everything you need about the Foundation of Cybersecurity, everything you need to be able to understand cybersecurity before we go into the main courses are all there, and I've already uploaded them into the folder. All you need to do is just to open it and go through the materials. But now, in order to help us give a brief summary of everything so that we will be well prepared, well equipped to face what you have ahead. Right. In fact, the essence of today's training is just to add another level of authentication to our introduction, right? To make sure that we have laid a very strong foundation for our study and probably give you more time to be able to prepare yourself mentally for what is ahead. Now, this is actually the interface of my Kali Linux, and I told you guys 90.9% of our work in cybersecurity is going to be done inside this Kali Linux, right? This Kali Linux is actually a Debian derived distribution of Linux, and after this introduction, this is what I want us to do next. We look at Kali Linux and then look at our structured query language and all the rest. But before then, let me just lay emphasis on a few things that I know are very important. Please, you need to observe something in this training. Whenever you see me laying emphasis on something, just understand that that thing is actually very important. It is very important for you to know the CISSP'S security domain. I think in our last class, I gave you guys assignment, and the assignment is for you to make or write short notes about these 8 security domains by certified information system security professionals. And the essence of these domains is actually to help individuals and organizations to understand, to implement and manage security in a clear, comprehensive way. Now, I used to tell myself that cybersecurity is very broad, and it is very broad. And in order to be able to break down cybersecurity and then simplify it and present it in a very clear and comprehensive way, it is good that CISSP broke it down into these 8 domains. Right now, each of these domains are like areas of specialization. That is why in that assignment I say that the conclusion or the concluding part of that assignment is for you to be able to choose a domain that actually interests you, and then tell us why the domain interests you and why you want to continue your study and specialize in that domain. Now, according to CISSP, cybersecurity is grouped into 8 domains. The first one is security and risk management. The second one is asset security. The third one is security architecture and engineering. The fourth one is communication and network security. The fifth one is identity and access management. That's the part we call IAM, identity and access management. Now, the sixth domain here is security assessment and testing, and this is where the penetration testing and ethical hackers. This is the domain where they are placed. While the 7th domain here is security operations, the 8th domain is software development security. If you check the assignment tab or the assignment folder, you see that this assignment is there. You need to understand the domains. You should be able to make at least two sentences about each of these domains offhand. You should be able to recite. Let me use that word, recite. You should have it offhand. You should be able to stand up anytime and then give full explanation about this domain, at least one sentence or two sentences each on this domain. That is what my goal is. You just need to start reading them and then practice. Right, so I also went ahead and I said something about the CIA triad, and I said that CIA triad is actually the summary of everything you are doing in cybersecurity. In fact, everything you are learning in cybersecurity can be summarized inside the CIA triad. Because remember that in our last class, there was a slide I presented where I defined cybersecurity from 2 different perspectives. The first perspective is where I said, in order to define cybersecurity, you should mention what we are protecting. I think I did something like this. I drew a line and wrote what we are protecting. that you should be able to know what you are protecting. At least write down 2 or 3 things you know that you are protecting, and I think it's very easy for you to know that in cybersecurity you are protecting computer systems. Alright, you are protecting computer systems. What you are protecting are many, but if you can be able to list 2, you are protecting computer systems, you are protecting computer network or networks. Right, you are protecting computer networks. I also say that you are protecting data. Right, you are protecting data. Anything that is of value to an organization, which is the thing we call assets. Anything that is of value to the organization is what we are protecting. That you are protecting servers. Right, you are protecting information, which is data. These are the things you are protecting. And I said once you can mention the things you are protecting, and you draw another thin line, right, and mention what we are protecting them against. What are you protecting them against? I think I could remember I wrote it down there that you are protecting them against threat actors. Threat actors is a topic for another day. We are going to spend a lot of time, especially when we go into the penetration testing and the ethical hacking part. That's where you see where we'll be able to define and explain different threat actors. Alright, but for now, just know that these threat actors are like our enemies. They are like unethical hackers. Unethical hackers. Why we are the soldiers, these people are the criminals, and our goal is to stop them. Right? Stop them and then prevent them from achieving their goal. Because whatever they are doing, these threat actors, all they are doing is always for malicious intent. Right? There is a malicious intention, right, in whatever they are doing. So we are protecting them against, we are protecting these assets I mentioned here against threat actors, unethical hackers. We are protecting them against unauthorized access. Right, unauthorized access. We don't want people that are unauthorized to actually access this information, and that is why we are protecting them. We are also protecting them from damage. Right, we don't want them to be damaged. So now once you're able to get these 2 things together, you are able to write down what you are protecting and then what you are protecting against. Then defining cybersecurity becomes very easy. It is the process of protecting computer systems, computer networks, data, asset servers against unauthorized access, damage, unethical hackers or threat actors. So against, just know how you put this together and you've gotten a valid definition of cybersecurity, and that is one point of view when it comes to defining cybersecurity. Now the second point of view I mentioned was trying to define cybersecurity from the CIA triad perspective. And I made us understand that CIA triad is actually the summary, because the summary of everything you are doing in cybersecurity is to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of information. That is actually what you are doing in cybersecurity. Whatever process, whatever technique, whatever tool or method that we use in order to make sure that we protect or we maintain the confidentiality, the availability, and the integrity of information, as it was CIA triad is all about. So that triad, like you all know, is just like a triangle, and this triangle summarizes what we do in cybersecurity. And every cybersecurity professional or organization should be able to understand the CIA triad and then use it, fuse it together. It will be like a form of yardstick that we use to maintain the security posture of our organization.